All right, I'm going out to get my garbage cans, and this is when I'm gang stalked, because what they do is they get your own neighbors to gang stalk you, people in the neighborhood, and they do this because they want to socially isolate their targets. And you have to think this is a PSYOPs program, so you have to turn everything you think about reality upside down. In other words, what they are using is everyday behavior as part of unremitting harassment. A person walking in or out of their door, pulling into or away from their curb, a car passing in front of your house. Everyday behaviors. They are using them for harassment. Now, how do they do that in mobbing? Well, first of all, it's through repetition. In other words, once in a while, if you come out of your house, a neighbor comes out of your house, I mean, that's just law of probability, it doesn't bother you, etc. But what if every time you came out of your house, a car passed in front of you, or a neighbor came out of their house, or a car was pulling in front of or in back of and away from a curb, and you got to know the people that do this every single day, because it's the same people that do this every single day. And so it's repetition, it's doing normal behaviors every single day rather than according to the laws of probability that is part of mobbing, U.S. government gang stalking. And it's also the duration that they try to wear the target down. In other words, you could take harassment for one day, for a week, for a month, for a year. But what if it went on, as it has in my case, since May 2006? What if it goes on for over 10 years and there's no indication that it will ever stop? What would that do to the psyche, the psychological organization of a person? Now, of course, if it's somebody like me that before this happened wrote a book like The Search for Being and was an avid reader of psychoanalysis and psychology, they could cope with it a little more than the average person, like the woman who, when I was driving with my magnetic stickers and my car topper, stopped my car and was crying. And she was there with her husband, and she wanted me to explain to him what was happening to her because her family didn't believe her. And that's what they do. They try to, and they have done this in Russia and China, they try to label the gang stalking target as crazy. And we saw this when a police officer had reported his colleagues. They put him in a mental ward. In other words, we are adopting strategies and tactics that are used by totalitarian countries like Russia and China. However, where they use physical torture and things like that, America is becoming expert at psychological torture, the use of PSYOPs against citizens. Let's see how it works. Now, as I come out, a car begins to move from across the street. Is this the kind of thing that they do in U.S. government gang stalking? This is the kind of thing that they do in U.S. government gang stalking. See this street? It's empty most of the day, except for when I come out, because what they've got to do is have a gang stalker there on my entries to my home, my exits to my home, when I go to exit my street, when I go to get on Buena Hills to exit to my development, when I get to the end of Buena Hills and I go to exit my development. They've got gang stalkers there. They're people in this neighborhood, lots and lots and lots of them, because now a percentage of our population gang stalks. Now, am I saying that the car you just saw as I exited my house to bring in my garbage cans is a U.S. government gang stalker? No, because I never say that people in my snapshots or videos are gang stalkers, because I'm not a mind reader. I don't know people's intentions. I just show you what I see. And you go to my website, stopgangstalking.com. You go to my YouTube channel, and what you will see is thousands of examples of what has been going on. All right, let's take in my garbage cans. Two out of the three of them are empty, so let's dig in two. Now, could there be another gang stalker? Possibly. Maybe not. Because they've had one person here as I leave my house, and that's their intention, to have a gang stalker there every time I leave my house or enter my house, or I leave my street, or I try to leave my development. That's what they do. Can you imagine all your neighbors gang stalking you for over 10 years with no end in sight? That's what the U.S. government is doing. I have no respect for Barack Obama. I voted for him. I voted for him for change. I found his comment interesting where he said that Donald Trump will soon find that there are all these people advising you and you have to follow their advice, that you're not really free. He was a wimp. Donald Trump is not a wimp. I voted for Donald Trump because I wouldn't vote for Hillary Clinton, a person of the status quo. Donald Trump, there is a basis of a different kind of individual. In business, the CEO is a person that takes charge. So I think he's not going to be like Obama. And that's why I voted for him.